Yo! What's going on, everybody? You're watching Knicks Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green, and welcome to another edition of an off-season live show here on Knicks Now. I appreciate everybody for stopping by as we just get you caught up and talk all things New York Knicks. The NBA draft is less than a month away at this point. I haven't done much draft coverage, if any at all, at this point, just for the simple fact that even though the Knicks have 2 first-round picks, I'm going to be shocked if they make those picks. But starting next week, I'm going to do my first mock draft. We'll also do a Knicks draft targets video, and we'll start to do some Knicks rumors stuff as well through the draft. But this week, wanted to focus mainly on trade stuff and free agency stuff, as that's what everybody wants to hear about. I don't want to bore you guys to death with 24th and 25th overall picks in the NBA draft of players that you've probably never heard of, which they could be good players, but at this point, I just haven't felt a need to talk about it just yet. But next week, Scout's honor, even though I wasn't a scout, we will do a mock draft, and we will start doing some NBA draft coverage, as Patrick Seaman has had the luxury for about 2 months now to talk about the draft. What do you think about it, man?
It's a pretty underwhelming draft, but there are good players, like, in terms of role guys, and I think that's good for the Knicks because they're not looking at the draft to bring in a star. So, but then again, not a lot of good options. And as I saw your video earlier, talking about Bronny James, I think that would be my number one Knicks draft target is Bronny James.
We can't add LeBron James for the veteran minimum. It will mess up the team chemistry.
That would be the best contract in NBA history. LeBron on a minimum.
I don't like LeBron. I don't. But for the amount of people in the comments section on today's video crying about adding LeBron James for a veteran minimum contract concerns me with the overall mental headspace of this fan base right now.
No feeling. I mean, get the feelings out of it.
First, you didn't want KD, and I understand he's old and you had to pay a lot. But now you get LeBron for the veteran minimum and you don't want him? What do you want? Do you not want...
Come on, John Thotty. John Thotty and John Pettit are anti-LeBron guys.
I think you guys are being too emotional here. I think you're being too emotional. Guys, LeBron James is still a top 10 player in the league. What do you mean he would destroy this team? How does LeBron James on a veteran minimum destroy this team? You know who destroyed this team? Injuries. Put LeBron James on the Knicks this season, they're going to the finals. They're going to the finals next year if you put LeBron on this team.
Come on, guys.
Comparing John Pettit or John Thotty. Comparing LeBron and Antonio Brown is not even remotely the same. Kenya, thank you. Yes, you take LeBron James for the veteran minimum.
All right, let me ask you guys this. If it guaranteed you LeBron on a vet minimum, would you take Bronny at 24?
I would trade up for Bronny.
I would take 24 and 25, move up to like 7. Probably won't get it done, but like move up to 10 or 11 and draft Bronny.
I just don't get it, man. I really don't understand it. I would like for you guys to inform me why you feel that way, except saying team chemistry. Because I promise you, team chemistry would be off the charts with LeBron James, Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, Dante DiVincenzo, and Isaiah Hartenstein, OG Anunoby. You know what those guys do? They play the game the right way. They want to win games. They'll do whatever it takes. LeBron would be a perfect teammate to those players.
And almost LeBron, to a fault, plays the game almost too much of the right way, throughout his career. I think it would be a perfect fit. And plus, he's turned out to be a good shooter in the second half of his career here in the league.
I just don't understand it, and I haven't had one person convince me otherwise with a non-emotional answer. Because if you're going to talk about chemistry, how? What team has he destroyed? He's kept the Lakers afloat by himself.
He's won a championship to every team he's gone to also. Like, I'm sure LeBron, that's also in the back of his head, where it's like, if I go win a championship for the Knicks, my GOAT argument skyrockets.
I just pioneered foul baiting and load management. John Thotty, it's 2024, bro. It's 2024, man. That's everybody. Your point guard, Jalen Brunson, he's known as a foul baiter. I love you guys.
Yeah, bro.
But if we're going to act like we're too good of a franchise and we're in too good of a spot to draft Bronny, which means we get LeBron James on the veteran minimum, I think we just got to pause, take a deep breath, and say, what are we doing? The goal is to win championships. And if you can add a top 10 player in the league for the veteran minimum, you do it every day of the week.
And I like Bronny as a prospect the more I look into him. I think too much stock's been put into his college stats.
How do you know he's anti-Tibbs? How do you know that? Has he said that? He's played on Team USA a couple of times, and Tibbs has been an assistant coach there. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. I still love y'all.
He does play the right way. LeBron plays the game of basketball almost perfectly.
It's very disappointing, my God. The John brothers, the John Pettits and the John Thotty.
And, okay, if the one argument is the defense, I understand that. He has not played defense over the last couple of seasons, but...
You know who else doesn't play defense? Julius Randle.
And also, LeBron's still
No, who else doesn't play defense? Jalen Brunson.
Yeah.
Do we not want them on our team anymore? You don't think LeBron's D'ing up in the playoffs? I got another thing for you.
Yeah.
We need a guy that's been there and done that in the playoffs. We've lost in the semifinals 2 times with home court advantage. That's disappointing. That's disappointing. You lost to an 8 seed last year. You lost to a 6 seed this year in your home building on Game 7. I don't care who was hurt. Get people in here that can get you past that point. LeBron James on a freaking veteran minimum would do so.
That would be
We got to wake up and smell the gel. We got to wake up. I understand not wanting KD, but if put yourself on a lie detector. You had KD to this team, they're a championship level squad. Yeah. You had LeBron James to this team, you're a championship level squad. I don't give a damn about anything else except hoisting a Larry O'Brien trophy. There's a lot of motherfuckers in here older than me that have never seen one. Would you not enjoy it if LeBron was there? You're lying if your answer is no. You're lying if your answer is no. Exactly, Julian. Exactly.
Yeah.
I just can't get with that wavelength. I can't. LeBron James is going to go down as the top 5 basketball player ever. He was a top 10 basketball player last year. He averaged 27, 8, and 8 in the playoffs. That's crazy. That's crazy. I just disagree. I just disagree. But we already did the LeBron video. I think you guys are extremely wrong. So my question, John Penn and John Thotty, before we move on. If you trade for if you get to sign LeBron, exact same team next year, exact same team, you sign LeBron James to the veteran minimum, do the Knicks go to the conference finals? Yes or no? Are you saying they don't?
Not have the Embiid mentality.
LeBron's a 4-time champ, man.
Come on,
Embiid
guys.
ain't never got out of the second round. That's not fair. It's not. Hell yes, they do, Jason B. They put another banner in the rafters at the Garden. That's what they do. If your starting lineup is Jalen Brunson, LeBron James, OG Anunoby, Julius Randle, Isaiah Hartenstein with Devo, Hart, Mitch, Deuce, all coming off the bench, you might be the best team ever.
Yeah.
You legitimately might be the best team of all time. Thank you, Jason B. Thank you. Love to seeing you in the chat, brother. Love seeing you in the chat. That team, if they wanted to, could win 75 games.
Yeah.
The IQ that you would have between Brunson and LeBron, are we going to say LeBron's not a high IQ player at this point? Are we going to say that too?
Well,
because if you're just saying that, then you're just barking out of emotion.
Possibly the highest IQ player of all time. Just take the emotions out of it and just go watch what LeBron did this last year. He's still very good, man.
I don't know. I don't get it. I really don't get it. I really don't get it. We're going to close today's show with a mailbag. That'll be in about an hour or so. If you want to get your questions up on the show, hashtag Knicks in the comment section with a comment, with a question, with a thought, with an opinion, or you could super chat. All super chats get up on show, and we'll talk about it. My guy Kenny says that lineup is a killer championship level team. That would be one of the most talented starting lineups in NBA history. LeBron might be the third best player in that starting lineup. You got size. You got IQ. You got defense. You got championship pedigree.
Yeah. And also the easy shots Devo would get. I mean, LeBron
oh, my
would
God.
have a field
Jalen
day.
Brunson going back to a spot-up shooter?
I think, hey, LeBron, if you want to come win a ship, I mean.
I can't believe we're saying no for LeBron James to come play for free for the Knicks. We paid Taj Gibson the veteran minimum. You don't want to give that to LeBron? What? And you get to keep everybody. And all your picks. Oh, my goodness. I don't know.
I actually think this would be a good move, too, if it's like, because you're not going all in on a guy, and you're not, like, yeah, you would use one of your first this year to get Bronny, but it's not like you would give up any future
What are you giving up?
assets. It's giving like a first
The
this year.
scenario is you draft Bronny to get LeBron. So technically, you're trading pick 24 for LeBron James. No, y'all wouldn't trade the 24th pick for LeBron James.
On a minimum contract.
On a minimum contract. Come on, dog. Come on. It's the same people who were crying about Obi. Same people who were crying about Cam Reddish.
RJ.
We can't be afraid to change.
I don't know about that, but I mean, I would give up 24, 25. I would give up every pick you have this year.
Jason B, perfect point. The Knicks have 8 tradable first-round picks in the next 7 years. The Knicks have 11 first-round picks in the next 7 years. The Knicks have 6 first-round picks in the next 2 years. Where are 6 rookies playing?
They're not.
Where are 6 rookies playing on this team?
Where are 2 rookies playing?
I think we all, as Knicks fans, need to understand a consolidation trade is once again coming.
And it's almost needed now.
I don't know. Saying no to LeBron James for the 24th pick is crazy. That's like actually insane. And if you want to laugh, and I don't mean to pick on the people, because we all have different opinions, and not everybody's right. Sometimes it's only me. Just kidding. But if you want to laugh, go look at some of those comments on that video. The stand up, puff my chest out, tough guy, I don't want LeBron.
If you ask Jalen Brunson and the guys on the team right now, would you want him? They would all be like, yeah, I would love it.
It's crazy. Miami didn't let him walk, bro. He left Miami. Miami cried when he walked. You got that a little bit wrong.
Haslam still crying about it.
Miami wanted LeBron back. Every team that LeBron has played for, they have wanted him. Yeah, Tibbs ain't playing no rookies, Khalid.
Oh, yeah, that's also.
Oh, man. All righty, coming up on today's show, we're going to run through 5 affordable free agent targets. And to close the show, Brian Windhorst has linked the New York Knicks to Giannis Antetokounmpo again. So we're going to have to talk about it again. And I can't wait to see the people who say no to this Giannis trade idea. Let me guess. We don't want Giannis either? Do we not want Giannis either? Who do we want?
Nobody.
If we don't want Giannis and we don't want KD and we don't want LeBron, who do we want? I don't agree with that on my square. I don't agree with that.
He's not going to make him play. I think LeBron wants Bronny to go to a spot that he can actually develop at.
And you know who could develop Bronny James? Tom Thibodeau.
Yeah.
You know who would be a perfect head coach for Bronny James? Thomas Theodore Thibodeau.
Yeah.
So we don't want Giannis. We don't want KD. We don't want LeBron. We don't want Mikal Bridges. Who do we want? Ryan Arcidiacono? Jimmer Fredette? Ron Baker? Clay Anthony Early? Chris Duhon? Who do we want? I want to win a fucking championship. That's what I want. They could play together and practice, Jason B.
And also, there will be some regular season games where he'll just naturally.
And let's be honest, you throw him. He's baby Deuce McBride. That's who Bronny James is. He's a rookie Deuce McBride.
Better physical traits probably too.
It's just crazy to me. Like, I don't know who y'all want. You didn't want Brunson. I remember that. You didn't want Hart. You didn't want Dante. You didn't want OG. Zach Edey. Yes. That's who we want, Johnson U. That's who we want. Johnson U's got it. Zach Edey. Coach Sierra says 617. I want Bridges. Are you going to trade Randall for him? Would you trade Randall for him? Because if you're not going to trade Randall for him, you don't want him. Because you're not getting him if you don't. Thomas, no, I wouldn't trade Randall for him. And that's an okay opinion to have. I get one big move, John Thotty. If I could have any player in the NBA join this team, it's Giannis. It's Giannis. Who's actually like somewhat feasible. Giannis. I know. They're all in their feelings. That's my guy. That's my guy. And we're going to talk about it in today's show, and I promise you're all going to say no to the trade offer, and the Knicks would make that deal in a heartbeat. Where's that guy? He didn't answer my question. My man KBGBF Eula in the building. What's up, man? I don't know where that guy went. I asked him a question, he didn't answer, and then his thing just left.
Bill's coming in saying Marsh has had enough.
Bill's in the chat. What's up, Bill? Bill, thank you for the super chat. First super chat of the day. Shout out to Bill. He says Marsh has had enough of the foolishness. I love it. Bill, you know what? You will say you don't know round ball, and I'll take you for your word, even though I know that you know round ball. That would, what would be similar to this, Bill? If you could have Saquon Barkley back for the veteran minimum.
Yeah.
I would take him back in a heartbeat. Every Giants fan should. And if you don't, you're just being emotional. This team is so close. The opportunity to win is now. The East is open. The Celtics just cakewalked their way to the finals. And the Knicks can beat them. They can beat them. Khalid Pasha says, y'all just look at names and don't actually look at basketball.
You're right.
Is that why we were wrong about Brunson, Devo, Hart, and OG? Is that why we were all wrong about that? Is that why the day before RJ Barrett got traded, I put out a video saying the Knicks must trade RJ Barrett, and then it happened? Is that because I just watched names? Huh, that's crazy, because I've watched almost 175 Knicks games in the last 2 years. 175? You must be new to the channel. Welcome. You might learn something. 194 people in the building. I'm glad they're here because I got shit to talk about. First, we don't want LeBron on the veteran minimum. We don't want to trade for KD. Who do you want? Okay, Khalid. All right. Jackie Moon. I'll take Jackie Moon, Steven Spalding.
That's a good point.
Corn dogs, Jackie. Corn dogs.
What's up, Rashad?
My man Rashad. What's up, bro? Oh, man. Dadpool on YouTube. I love you so much. I can't believe you just said that. Do you know what? I would kill a man to add a prime Carmelo Anthony to this team. I'd kill a man. If I had a dog, I might kill that dog to add a prime Carmelo Anthony to this team.
So Bron and Melo couldn't be further apart from play styles.
And I will never agree with anyone that said trading for Carmelo Anthony was the wrong decision. I will never agree with that. Never. You know what was the wrong decision? Trading a first-round pick for Andrea Bargnani. You know what was the wrong decision? Not including Iman Shumpert in a Kyle Lowry trade. You know what was the wrong decision? Giving Tyson Chandler that contract instead of waiting another summer to sign Chris Paul. The problem with the Carmelo Anthony trade was that the moves you made after were made with your brain turned off. If you don't think trading Wilson Chandler, Danilo Gallinari, Timofey Mozgov, and Raymond Felton was worth Carmelo Anthony, you will never, ever get it. You will never, ever get it. Anyone that says Carmelo Anthony was a bad trade, we will never, ever agree on anything. Because that was one of the best trades the Knicks ever made. Brought him back to relevance. Thing is, you didn't make any good moves after. You wouldn't trade Iman Shumpert for Kyle Lowry. You traded a first-round pick for Andrea Bargnani. You gave Tyson Chandler the money that Chris Paul wanted to come play with Melo and Amari. It was the moves after the Carmelo Anthony trade that did you in. After. If you would not trade today, Wilson Chandler, Danilo, what did Wilson Chandler do after the Knicks? What did the Nuggets do? And what were the Nuggets before Jokic? Nothing. You do that trade every day of the week. Thank you, John Pettit. Thank you. The Melo trade, the Knicks won that. How many first-round picks did the Knicks give up in that Melo trade? Now make it seem like they gave up 50. I'll never get it. I'll never get it, man. The name of the game is to add really good players. And I promise you the Knicks would have never been better than they were with Carmelo Anthony when they were the 2 seed, and he was second in MVP if you held on to Wilson Chandler, Danilo Gallinari, Timofey Mozgov, and Raymond Felton. You got Raymond Felton back. Come on, dog. Too many smart people on this channel. Fired up today. I'm sick of all the nonsense. Sick of the nonsense. Kenya, what up, man? Coming in with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Brody. Says, do we pay OG close to or $30 million with his injury history? For me, Kenya, at this point, there's not a number that's too high for OG Anunoby. And the reason is this is the bed you have chosen to lie in. You already traded RJ. You already traded quickly. You can't just let that dude walk out of the door because you were being scared to spend a little money. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, you've already, like, by making that trade, you pretty much already signed your name on the dotted line that you're going to do whatever it takes to keep him. Yeah, I would like to pay him as cheap as possible. I think it's going to be more than $30 million. I think 4 years, 160 maybe. Like, yeah, they had Jason Kidd. Mr. Realistic says, unsub from this guy. He's not a Knicks fan. Unsub, what team am I? Or Mr. Realistic, what's my team then? If I'm not a Knicks fan, what team am I a fan of? Would love to get your input. No Knicks fans want LeBron. No, what you meant to say is no emotionally scarred people want LeBron. Yeah. I'm a winner. And that's why we do what we do. And you add LeBron James for the veteran minimum, you'll be a champion in the NBA for the first time in your life.
You did say that, CPJ. You said that last week. It was like, buckle up for this offseason. There's going to be a lot of boneheads in the chat.
Pulsar says, will OG be the highest paid Knick? Yeah. Absolutely. He absolutely will, and I don't have a problem with that. What are we going to do? Not pay him the money he wants that another team's willing to pay him, and then we lose him for nothing? And then we're back to who's our starting small forward again, and we need another 3-and-D wing? No. You've chosen to lay in the bed of OG Anunoby. Now you got to pay him what he wants to stay. It's that easy. Oh, man. What Strong Island brother? What team chemistry has LeBron James fucked up? Because he's won a team with every team he's been on. He's won a championship with every team he's been on. Yeah, Rashad. Like, what? Would you guys have not signed Michael Jordan in the 90s for the veteran minimum because he played for your arch rival too?
Yes.
Is that what we're saying? Are we just being weird? Is that what we're doing today on a fine Thursday? We're being weirdly in our feelings. Is that what we're doing? Jason B., thank you, brother, for being just love that guy. I love that guy. We'd all take MJ. I don't care how many times he dunked on Patrick Ewing. If your reasons for not wanting LeBron are because of off-the-court stuff, then I'll never convince you because you've already had your mind made up on who he is, and you are entitled to that. You are entitled to that. But if you are going to tell me that the Knicks would not be a better team with LeBron James on a veteran minimum, put the drink and put the gas down and maybe pass me the gas because that shit's got to be strong. Carl, who are you shaking your head at? Who are you shaking your head at, Carl? Exactly, rah-rah. We don't want Michael Jordan. He never won anywhere else besides the Chicago Bulls. I think y'all are just trying to get under my skin now.
What's up, Bronx boy? How you doing?
The Bronx boy! I just want a ring. What did Justin Tuck say before Super Bowl 46? He said, I got a ring. You don't know what it feels like. I don't know what it feels like. I want one. I'll do some nasty shit for a ring. Yes, Carl, thank you. I thought you would be one of those old heads that were pissed off about that idea, but I knew you knew ball, brother. I knew you knew ball. It took Bron 25 years to get 4 rings. I don't want him on the Knicks, period. From Christy Lamauer. How many rings have the Knicks got? They've got 2. They haven't won one in 50 years. So are you not a Knicks fan anymore? You don't want to be a Knicks fan because they haven't won in 50 years? I just don't understand the rationale sometimes. And I try to put myself on the opposite side of the screen in your guys' shoes. Because I can't get smarter if I don't listen. It's always been a problem of mine. I'm trying to listen. But you're feeding me bullshit. Sell my soul to sign LeBron? Is that how deep you guys think this is? Is that how deep you think this is?
It's LeBron James.
The chemistry that couldn't get us past the Indiana Pacers that got swept the next round? The chemistry that made us lose for the second time in the semifinals with home court advantage against an 8 seed and the 6 seed? Team chemistry don't win you rings, brother. Talent does. An elite talent. Patrick Seaman, who's the last NBA champion that doesn't feature a top 25 player of all time?
04 Pistons.
Okay. What year is it?
It's 2024.
So there's been 19 champions crowned since the 2004 Pistons.
Yep.
Okay.
Went like Tim Duncan, Bron, Curry, KD, Giannis, Jokic, Kobe.
So you're telling me that the past 19 NBA champions all have top 25 players of all time on their team?
Yep.
Then we got to get one of those. Because team chemistry doesn't hang bangers.
No.
Team chemistry doesn't put banners up in MSG. Hall of Fame talent does. And that's what we got to get.
Also, for the running back crew, like, I still think you would give Boston problems. But, I mean, it would still be a coin flip going up against Boston. Milwaukee's going to run it back. Philly's going to be back.
He's close. Kawhi's close. 3-time champ, 2-time Finals MVP.
He's damn near top 25 too. And then also that team had Siakam, Lowry, like Mark Gasol was still great.
I'd say Kawhi's top. His peak? Yeah.
He's a top 20 player of all time.
Best defender. 2-time Finals MVP. 3-time NBA. 3-time NBA? 2-time? 3-time?
3-time champ.
3-time champ. 2-time MVP. Finals MVP. Yeah, I'd say he's really close to top 25. And they got lucky. They got to run into a Warriors team that was hurt. OG, salute, brother. Salute, brother. I'm getting pissed off by the chat. Getting pissed off. Kawhi was hurt when he won the Finals MVP. Christy, are you just yelling things into the universe for attention? All right, let's talk about it. Because we don't want Giannis. We don't want LeBron. We don't want KD.
We want Thanasis.
Exact. We want Thanasis. Exactly.
We want Thanasis.
OG, the word is we don't want LeBron James on the veteran minimum. We don't want to trade for Kevin Durant, and we don't want to give up enough for Giannis. So I'm trying to figure out who are we wanting? Who are we wanting? Nick Davidov in the building, tuning in for a weekly live show.
Not at a game.
Davidov! Can I get everybody to drop an eyeball emoji in the chat for Nick Davidov? I don't know if I've ever seen Davidov in a live chat. For a non-game day.
He's normally only a game player, but
he's like Josh Hart. He doesn't practice, but he shows up for game day and he's ready to play. He's ready to play.
He's a game guy.
Eyeballs in the chat. Shout out to, yeah. Oh, you're right, Will. Let's just re-sign Obi and get RJ Barrett back. Oh, man. I love you guys. I love you. I love all of y'all. Oh, man. Shout out to all 210 people in the building. If you haven't yet, please hit that thumbs up icon. And we're going to talk affordable free agents for the Knicks. And then we're going to talk Giannis. And then we're going to talk Giannis. We're going to talk Giannis. All right. Nick Davidov says OG might go to Philly. Yeah, we've heard that. But we can offer more. And his son or his agent is the son of Leon Rose. You don't trade for OG without knowing from the agent that he wants to be here long term. I also don't think OG Anunoby would have played and risked his injured hamstring getting worse unless he knew that there was already a deal on the table. But it is true. He might go to Philly. He also might never play again. He's going to re-sign with the Knicks, though. I'm going to put a lot of money on that. What's up, Darren Gale? Hey, I'm cool with that. But I don't think you're getting Mikal Bridges unless you're including Julius Randle. You think we're getting Bridges for Mitchell Robinson and Deuce McBride? I don't know. Let's talk about it. Affordable free agents. Let's go. You're watching Knicks Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green. Appreciate everybody for stopping by as we're going to talk some NBA free agency for the New York Knicks. Right now, the Knicks, they do not have any cap space, and it would take some major moves to make that happen. But they are not quite yet a tax team. They are $24.8 million away from the first apron, and they are $35.6 million away from the second apron, which means that they can offer the mid-level exception as long as they stay below the first apron, which is a $12.9 million contract. If you are going to plan on spending that full MLE, you're going to have to make a decision on Bojan Bogdanovic. Bogey has a $2 million guaranteed. He has $2 million guaranteed out of his $19 million salary for this upcoming season. So the Knicks will have to make a decision on that. It's pretty much a team option. You pick up the team option, he's on the books for $19 million. You decline it, and you just take a $2 million hit, and he is a free agent. Also, if you want to spend that mid MLE, that $12.9 million deal on a free agent, you're going to have to sign the MLE player before Isaiah Hartenstein and OG Anunoby, or send it into the league office and make it official to where you sign the MLE and then you go over the luxury tax to re-sign iHeart and OG. If you're going to re-sign iHeart and OG, you're already going to be a tax team. So there's going to be a way for Leon Rose and crew to make it happen. You can also break up the mid-level exception into multiple deals. For instance, the max MLE is a 4-year deal worth about $55 million. So you could, in theory, offer a 2-year deal for $22 million to one person and 2 years and $22 million for another, or you could break it up in multiple ways. But we're going to talk about players that would most likely command this type of money, whether it's a 1-year, 2-year, 3-year, or maybe one free agent at the end of the show that you would use to break it up. But before I give you 5 players that are going to be free agents that fit, in my opinion, as MLE players, maybe they go for a little bit more, maybe they are just more expensive than that, to be quite honest with you. But I want to answer from you guys. What is the Knicks' biggest need this summer? The biggest need for the New York Knicks is what? I want to hear from all the real ones in the comment section right now. My first mid-level exception free agent target for the Knicks is the defending small forward Patrick Williams from the Chicago Bulls. And when Patrick Seatman built these graphics, he was very, very upset with me that I put his sweet prince P-Dub? P-Claw? P-Dub. I will not call him P-Dub if he is a member of the Knicks. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. But in my opinion, a type of player that the Knicks need very clearly aligns with Patrick Williams. 6'7", 215 pounds, and just 22 years old. One of the best perimeter defenders in the NBA. He can guard 2s, he can guard 3s, he can guard 4s, and his offensive game is underrated, in my opinion. The only thing I'm a little bit concerned about with Patrick Williams is that he's had 2 seasons where he barely played. Played in half the games this year and only 17 games in 2021. But what I love about him is the defensive ability that he provides. He gives the Knicks another guy off the bench that if OG is hurt, he can slide into that spot. He could also make it to where the workload on OG throughout the season is not nearly as high. And he gives you another sniper from downtown, one of the best off-the-catch players in the league. He continues to work on his off-the-bounce game. He's got a little crafty mid-range game as well. I'd be a big fan of this move. He is a restricted free agent, meaning the Chicago Bulls could match that offer. Who knows if they're willing to go to 4 years and $55 million. I'm sure that they would, but if not, I would give him that type of bag, and the Knicks get to add another versatile defender that can shoot it and create for himself a little bit. Another player that I'm interested as a mid-level exception free agent is Kelly Oubre. We saw Kelly Oubre up close and personal in round 1 against the Philadelphia 76ers. He was able to guard Jalen Brunson, at least made it tough on him. Brunson still got his, but it definitely was not easy. And kind of the same thought that I have with Williams is what I have with Oubre. Another 6'7" wing to come off the bench, can guard some players at different positions. But Oubre is a much more polished scorer than Patrick Williams, compared to Patrick Williams being I would say, a level above Oubre, if not 2 levels above him as a defender. Oubre was on the veteran minimum this year for the Philadelphia 76ers. It would be quite a pay raise to see him go up to $12.9 million per year, and I think he's right in our sweet spot. He would bring a little bit of grit, a little bit of grind, a little bit of nastiness. We saw him do that with the Philadelphia 76ers. My biggest concern with him, though, is his inconsistent three-point shot. And I don't love adding players to this team that can't really knock it down at a high clip, because that's kind of what you need, because Brunson's going to have the ball in his hands a lot. Randall's going to have his ball in his hands a lot. Those guys are going to get doubled. They're going to kick it out to open shooters. And I don't love that Oubre hasn't shot over 32% from 3 since 2021. But we know he can slash, he can get out and run in transition, and he's going to give you 15 points a night. He's done that for 4 straight seasons. Another Philadelphia 76er that I may get killed for having him on this video, but man, if you could add Tobias Harris to come off the bench and play 25 minutes and not ask him to be a star, not ask him to do anything except score the basketball, I think Tobias Harris makes a lot of sense. And a reason I included him outside of being a New York native is that Tom Thibodeau loves Tobias Harris. If you've watched this channel for a couple of years now, we've put quotes up on screen where Tibbs would praise Harris. And it was a rumor before the 2022-2023 season that Tom Thibodeau signed off on a trade that would have sent Randall to Philly and Tobias Harris to the Knicks. Never went down, but Tibbs really, really likes him. And I honestly think Toby gets a bad rap from time to time. Is he a number one option? Hell no. Is he a 2? No. Is he a 3? No. Can he be a 4 or can he be a 6 man? I think so. The guy averages 17 points per game on 48% from the deck and 35% from 3. If you're telling me we could add another player that can score 15, shoot 38% from 3, grab boards, and give you a 6'9", 6'10 wing that could play the 4 and play the 3, yeah, I would be cool with that. Has he underwhelmed in Philadelphia? Yes. Did he sometimes shrink in the playoffs? No doubt about it. That's why we're talking about affordable free agents. That's why I think he would cost about $13 million per year. I'll sign up for a 6'10 guy that can shoot it, that could score it, and one guy that your coach absolutely loves. We've got 2 more free agents that we're going to talk about for the mid-level exception. But first, I got to give a huge shout out to today's sponsor, Prize Picks. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS. Use that promo code CLNS, and Prize Picks will match your first deposit up to $100. The NBA Finals are right around the corner, and that's the time to win big money. Put $100 in your account, give you $100 for free. You create a lineup of 2 to 6 players, and you simply pick more or pick less. The NFL is almost here. They've already got some season-long plays that you could dive into. You also can get rolling with the MLB as that's starting to heat up. You can play anything you want on Prize Picks. Turn your sports IQ into some money. PrizePicks.com/CLNS. Promo code CLNS. Pick more, pick less, win big money, withdraw your winnings. Kind of a theme here. I'm going with a forward. That's what I think the Knicks need. And I thought that rang true when we had to see Josh Hart guard Pascal Siakam when OG Anunoby went down. And you could consider this type of signing, any of these 4 signings we're going to talk about, as kind of insurance for OG Anunoby. I'm looking at Sadiq Bey. More Nova, more wins. Even though he's not quite like the other Villanova cats. But I think he would also be a great addition. 6'7", 215 pounds, still just 25 years old, and he could score it at a high clip. For some reason, though, he has not been able to knock down the three-point shot at the high level that he once did. In 2020 and 2021, he knocked it down at 38% from 3. And then since then, it's gone down pretty much every year, 34 and 21, up to 36 in 2022. If he comes here and averages 13.8, 4.7 rebounds, shoot 36% from 3, I would love that off the bench. I don't know what happened this year shooting 31%. I'm going to blame that on just the fact that the Atlanta Hawks are not a good basketball team. And he is not in that really trying to play for a bad team. Trying to make an excuse for him. One thing that I'm also a little bit worried about is he tore his ACL in March, so may take him a little while to get back. I think he'd be ready to go probably in November or December, and that's maybe why you're able to get him as a mid-level exception target. Maybe the price is down a little bit. Always a little bit concerned about signing players off that injury, but I think because of the torn ACL, he would be able to be a little bit more affordable, and maybe you can get him for the long term on a deal like that. It's risky, no doubt about it, but if he could return to form, I think that he would be a really good fit for the New York Knicks. I want to talk about a guard as well, and that's going to be the last free agent target that we talk about on today's show. I still think that the Knicks need a true point guard off the bench, and maybe a true point guard is the wrong way to phrase it. They need an offense of engine. And Reggie Jackson was that exactly for the Denver Nuggets last year. He made $5 million for the Nuggets. He has a team option, player option. He's probably going to decline that, enter free agency, and get some more money. But I'm tired of when Brunson comes out of the floor, the offense doesn't have anyone else that can take the ball, run a pick and roll, get downhill, create for himself, and create for others. And Reggie Jackson does that. 4 straight years in a row, averaging 10-plus points per game. He was really good this year for Denver, man. Played in 81 games, and he got that three-point percentage up to 36%. If you're telling me we could add another point guard off the bench that's averaging 10-plus points and giving you 43% from the field and 36% from 3, I'd be all over that. He is 34 years old, so it would be a shorter contract, but I truly do believe the Knicks need a scoring guard off the bench. They need a guy that can keep the offense afloat while Brunson sits down. A lot of people be like, Marshall, that's Deuce McBride. I don't believe Deuce McBride is a point guard. I believe he is an undersized two guard. And I think him and Reggie Jackson would actually be a pretty decent backcourt pairing. But I think Jackson would make a lot of sense, and I don't think he would even cost close to that $12.9 million salary. We've talked about 5 players on today's show. 5 players on today's show. If you had to pick one of them to sign, who would it be? Is it Patrick Williams? Is it Kelly Oubre? Tobias Harris? Saddiq Bey? Or Reggie Jackson? I want to hear from all of you in the comment section. Make sure you are following me on social media. I'm on Twitter. I'm on IG at @MarshallGreen_. If you want to yell at me over there, do it, and let's go Knicks. You want Kyle Anderson? I do not. Kyle Anderson shoots 20% from 3. I don't want to add anyone really that can't shoot. Monk at 13 would be awesome. Malik Monk is going to be making close to $25 million per year.
Yeah, I'd go Patrick Williams to the Knicks. I mean, the fact he's 22 years old still even shocks me. He already has 4 years of NBA experience.
Saddiq Bey did tear his ACL in March. Back by January.
Yeah.
Back by January. And we're ready to rock. Patrick Beverley, you probably get him for a veteran minimum.
Yeah.
Lonnie Walker, me and Seeps are actually talking about Lonnie Walker. I like him. He's not going to command anything close to $12.9 million. Jonathan Isaac is not a free agent. DeMar DeRozan, I want him to put him on this list. I don't think he's signing for $13 million. He reportedly turned down $40 million from the Bulls.
Like a guy like Lonnie Walker could be on like a different list that we do.
Yeah,
like
that's
super affordable.
Yeah, this was double-digit million-dollar salary players. Yeah. Drew Holiday just signed a 4-year extension, Strong Island Bomber. Now, kind of telling on yourselves. Bam Adebayo.
Come on, guys. Come
on. Who's a good bench scoring PG that's affordable? The best one was Reggie Jackson. That's why I included him. I looked at a list of every free agent.
Kuzma's going for more, and you need the trade for him.
Yeah, he also is not a free agent.
Yeah, Kuz might get 25. Drummond and Lonnie Walker could be on the another super affordable list that we do.
I mean, Kyle Kuzma signed a 4-year, $90 million deal this past summer.
He's going for more than 20, 25.
Bruce Brown, the Raptors will have to make a decision on his team option. So TBD on if he's going to be a free agent. But if he is a free agent, he would have been on this video because I know the Knicks do want him. We're too good for Tobias Harris. We're too good for Tobias Harris off the bench. Bro, we just had to watch Alec Burks save this team in Game 6 and Game 7, and we're too good for Tobias Harris? That's crazy.
I do like Chris Paul if he's bought out.
Yeah, me and Seeps have talked about that. We would love to sign Chris Paul if he's bought out.
He won't listen. Come on, guys. Come on.
John Pettit, didn't Kelly Olynyk just sign a big deal with the Raptors?
Wait, Olynyk?
Yeah, he signed a 2-year, $26.5 million extension. Not a free agent.
So keep that in mind. Kelly Olynyk was getting 13.5. Like when we're talking about numbers with these guys, like these guys are getting paid a lot of money now.
What's up, Tamar Bowles?
Tamar.
I don't want Miles Bridges on my team, John Thotty. I can't do that.
And he's not a winning player.
I can't do that. Yeah, it went under the radar. Where are we picking in the first round? We have picks 24 and 25. 24 and 25.
Devin Carter out of Providence. I'm still skeptical on that guy being a first-round pick. Tibbs guy, though.
I don't see the Knicks drafting 24th and 25th. I bet the Knicks want to package those picks and move up. Yeah, John Pettit, I know that Tobias Harris gets a lot of heat. If I could add Tobias Harris to the bench to back up Randall and OG, that would be awesome. That would be awesome.
Get you better on the margins.
Rah-Rah says, let's talk about the 5 guys you picked. That's why you're watching the show, so we could talk about it. Feel free to talk about it. Would love to hear from you, man. That's why the comment section is open. You don't have to tell me, let's talk about it. Just talk about it.
It's my man, Davidov.
Nick Davidov in the building. What's up, Nick Davidov?
Thank you.
Why don't I like Miles Bridges? Because he's a scumbag. And he beats women. So I don't want him on my team. Yeah. That's that on that.
You guys could look that up on your own.
Yeah. That's that on that.
But I'm ready to get the chat fired up with this Giannis trade idea. I almost want to show it right now, but
you're good, John Thotty. You're good. Oh, you didn't know about that? Yeah. Yes. Not good. Not good. Yeah.
He's not a good guy.
Quentin Gilliam, I'm just respectfully not going to talk about that on the show. And I hope that you could respect that. I hope that you could respect that.
You guys are talking about ruining chemistry,
Everyone's allowed to have an opinion on it. Mine is I just don't want him on my team, and I don't want to talk about him on this show. We've already spent too much time doing so. All right, let's talk about Giannis. I am ready for the chat to be mad on me. All right, it's not a joke.
Whoa, yeah, we'll change.
All right.
Keep it with Knicks hoops, guys.
Yeah, come on, QG.
Let's talk some Giannis.
Let's talk Giannis. I can't wait for you guys to tell me no. Let's do it. You're watching Knicks Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green, and it is time to talk about a potential blockbuster trade. Brian Windhorst of ESPN said this: the whole league is obviously watching what happens with Giannis. Certainly, the Knicks are one of them. He didn't mention any other team. And we told you guys last offseason, the Knicks were watching. And once again, Brian Windhorst, one of the most connected NBA people, says the Knicks are watching the Giannis Antetokounmpo sweepstakes. Now we're talking. Now we're cooking with gas. You want to win an NBA title? You got to have a top 30 player ever. Go all the way back to the 2004 Pistons. Much as I love Brunson, that's going to be really tough for him to be there. But if he gets a sidekick partner like Giannis, they could be the best duo in modern NBA history. Before we dive into this, and I tell you why the Knicks should do whatever it takes, I got a trade idea for you on Giannis I know you guys are not going to like. The question is this: should the Knicks go all in for Giannis Antetokounmpo? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Can't wait to read the comments. Yes, you go all in for Giannis. Are we crazy? We don't want to go all in for Giannis. Is that what we're telling me now? First, we didn't want to sign LeBron James for the veteran minimum. Second, we didn't want to give up anything for Kevin Durant. And now we don't want a 29-year-old Giannis who just finished fourth in MVP, and he's going to go down as one of the top 30 players of all time. You're telling me we don't want to do that? The guy that at 29 years old averaged 30 points, 11.5 rebounds, 6.5 assists on 61% from the field this year. We don't want that guy. Is that what we're telling me? You do whatever it takes to make a Giannis trade. You do whatever it takes. You guys always tell me, Marshall, we can't trade the farm. Your farm begins and ends with Jalen Brunson and OG Anunoby. That's it. That is it. Everybody else is on the table for Giannis. Have you ever seen a graphic like this on screen where the stats were this high? 30 points, 30 points, 30 points, 28 points, 11 boards, 11 boards, 11 boards, 11 boards, 6 assists, 5 assists, 6 assists, 6 assists. Guy's special. And he's also really good in the playoffs. Already an NBA champion. Scored 50 points in a game 6 in the NBA Finals, averaging 26.6 points per game, 12 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 block, 1.3 steals, and 52.7% from the field in the playoffs. And we've already seen him be the best player on the planet on the biggest stage. The dude in the finals averaged 35, 13, 5, 2 blocks, and 62% from the field and closed them out with 50 points. I know people are going to be like, Marshall, and I already see a comment in the chat. You're going to have to gut the team to get him. I don't know if I want to do that again. One, the Knicks didn't gut the team for Carmelo Anthony. They did not. I will never agree with anybody that says that. They traded Wilson Chandler, Timofey Mozgov, Danilo Gallinari, and Raymond Felton. You did not gut the team. You didn't have a team. Gutting the team would have mean you traded Amari Stoudemire. Different convo, different day. But what I'm saying applies to this. You can't overpay for Giannis. No one will ever make a trade for Giannis, and it's like, whoa, you gave up way too much for the second best player in the world. That will never be said. You'll never be said. And if there is any team in the league that is equipped to overpay for Giannis, you're going to have to give up a lot of these picks. You got 2 in 2024, 4 in 2025, 8 tradable first-round picks, and 11 first-rounders in the next 7 years. You can afford to overpay on the draft picks if you even want to call it that. Your 2025 draft capital looks as so. You own Milwaukee's pick, it's top 4 protected. You own Detroit's pick, which is top 13 protected. Washington's top 10 pick, and then your own first round pick. A lot of people have said, Marshall, you've brought up trading Randall a couple of times, and I have. And I said I would trade him for Mikal Bridges. I said I would trade him for Kevin Durant. Giannis joins that list. Giannis is one of the few players I trade Julius Randle for. He is, because simply he is better. And I hope I have made myself clear this offseason that the only way I trade Julius Randle is if I'm getting a better player, I'm getting a player that's just as good, or I am getting a player that fits this team better. Because I hope through 2 seasons of watching this show, the people that do watch this show have learned sometimes fit is more important than talent. And I'm doing that deal every day of the week. And I love Julius Randle. But I'm moving him in a heartbeat for Giannis. Coming up next, I got a trade idea for you that involves Julius Randle going to the Bucks with the Knicks getting Giannis. I want to get your take on it. So stick around. But before we do, check out our proud sponsor, Prize Picks. PrizePicks.com/CLNS. Use that promo code CLNS, and Prize Picks will match your first deposit up to $100. Prize Picks is the #1 daily fantasy sports app in the game. All you do is create a lineup of 2 to 6 players, and you simply choose more or less on their projected stat line. The NBA Finals are around the corner, and you should be playing during the NBA Finals. You could turn $10 into $100. Play Prize Picks. It's fun. It's exciting. It's easy. And you can win big money, and you can withdraw your winnings whenever you want. NFL, NBA, college football, college basketball, MLB, NASCAR, so much more. Check out Prize Picks, prizepicks.com/CLNS. Use that promo code CLNS. I know I said in the beginning of the video, you cannot overpay for Giannis. But I know how you guys are going to say, we overpaid. So I'm just going to let you know, for your standards, the Knicks will have to overpay for Giannis. That's what you have to do when you are trying to trade for the second best player, arguably, in the world. The only negative thing to what I think Brian Windhorst said is, I'm not so sure the Bucks will trade him this offseason. The Bucks lose in the first round again next year, and that's 3 years in a row. If they lose in the first round, they're done. Because Dame, Portis, Lopez, and Middleton, Father Time is tugging on the back of their shirt. They know they had this year, and they've got next year. But maybe they're a forward-thinking organization, and they say, why don't we just max out on the value now and start the rebuild and tearing it up and building it back up now? They could, but they also could say, we've gone this far, we're that close, let's give it one more run. I think next year is more likely. But let's talk as if what Brian Windhorst said is true. Teams are monitoring it because it might just happen. All right, now you guys hate me, right? You hate me because I'm willing to trade Julius Randle, Mitchell Robinson, Deuce McBride, and 7 first-round picks for Giannis? Do you hate me? Randle, Robinson, Deuce, 4 unprotected, all that you can offer, and 3 protected. So 7 first-round picks, Robinson, Deuce, and Randle for Giannis. I don't even think that's enough. I don't even think that's enough. But let's say it is. Let's say it is. Let's say that's the deal that Milwaukee says we will do. And this is your starting lineup. Brunson, DiVincenzo, or Hart, one of them come off the bench with OG, Giannis, and Hartenstein. Brunson, if your top 6 is Brunson, Dante, Hart, OG, Giannis, and Hartenstein, you're not winning the championship. You're not. You might just be a dynasty. You might win multiple championships. That roster I just showed you, this is a ship contender for 5+ seasons. That is a championship contender and most likely the championship favorite for the next 5 seasons. You would have one of the best scoring guards in the league. You would have maybe the best big man in the league in Giannis at the power forward position. One of the best one of the best defensive centers in Hartenstein. One of the best wing defenders in OG. And 2 of the better role players in the league in Hart and DiVincenzo. But you might say, Marshall, who else do we got? Don't worry, I'll tell you in a second. Would you do the deal? Would you do the deal? Quentin Gilliam says, hell nah. Told you. A for accept, D for decline. Randle, Robinson, Deuce, 4 unprotected firsts, 3 protected firsts. That's why you got all these first-round picks, to do the deal. You got to pay to play. This one might be high to play, but so will that banner that they're going to raise in Madison Square Garden. It's accept, and it's not even close. If I could give more first-round picks, I would. I've got 8 tradable. Knicks could trade 8. You want 8? I'll give you 8. I would. It's Giannis Antetokounmpo with Brunson, and OG, and Hart, and Hartenstein, and Dante. Yes, you do that. Are you kidding me? We're saying no to that. So we don't want to trade for Giannis. We don't want LeBron James for free, and we don't want KD. Do we want to win? Do we want to win? Do we want to compete? And I'll say it. It would suck to see Julius and Mitch and Deuce go. It absolutely would. It absolutely would. And you might say, Marshall, if the Bucks are trading Giannis, why would they want Randle? It could be a very similar situation as to what we saw with Drew Holiday going to the Portland Trailblazers last year, even though they didn't want him, and then they rerouted him to the Boston Celtics, and they got picks and players back. The Bucks could do that with Julius Randle if they want to. You might say, well, Marshall, how are we going to fill out our bench? How are we going to fill out our bench, Marshall? Remember the Miami Heat when they signed LeBron and D. Wade and Chris Bosh? The ring-hunting veterans, they'll come play for you. You already have an elite top 6. We know Tibbs only goes 8 deep. You only need 2 or 3 more vets. Yes, you do this deal. Ring-hunting vets will come play for you. And remember, I said 7 first-round picks. 7 first-round picks. You have 11 in the next 7 years. That means you'd still have 4 more. You'd still have 4 more. Yes, you do the trade. And once they say accept, you hang up and you pop champagne because you just paired Jalen Brunson with Giannis Antetokounmpo. I'll make this 8 first-round picks. You still got 3 in your back pocket over the next 7 years and a boatload of second-round picks. Yes, you do it. If you said no, put it down. Just put it down. Make sure you are following me on social media. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram at @MarshallGreen_. You do the deal and you celebrate once you get it done and you get ready to start a dynasty as the New York Knicks. I'll be honest. There were more accepts than I thought. I think my pep talk at the start of the show dialed them in, but there were still far too many no's.
I honestly felt like a proud dad right there, watching the chat, coming with the A's. Yeah, CPJ saying, where do I push the button for this trade? It would hurt, no doubt, but, I mean.
Would it hurt?
No, I don't.
It wouldn't.
It's Randall.
It's Randall, a hurt Robinson, and we all love Deuce.
I love Deuce. Deuce would stink to see him watch him leave, but you're getting Giannis. Yeah, I mean, I think you have to. This is more likely next summer, though, which you said. Could make it a little more interesting, but it's also like that deal for the Bucks. If you do reroute Randall, that could legit be 10 first-round picks.
What better way to restart
than just every pick you can imagine?
Because they're staring death in the face right now.
They are.
Middleton's close.
Yeah. Brooks close. Portis is close.
Nick Davidov, there's no perfect player out there, but I'm willing to mortgage my future for Giannis.
Yeah, I would.
I am.
If they want the Thanasis,
yeah, if we got to take the Thanasis, we'll take him. He's already been a Knick once.
That's fine. We will take the Thanasis.
CPJ, I'm glad we always think alike, my man. I'm glad. Going to the second round was really fun 2 years ago.
That would be the...
Going to the second round again this year was cool. I'm tired of losing in the second round with home court advantage. I'm tired of that.
Like the second round, like if you make that trade, the second round's a disappointment. Like that's what the standard would be.
I'm tired of losing on our home floor to the 8 seed and the 6 seed with home court advantage.
Can't play in New York. I'm pretty sure Giannis has a game winner in New York, like one of his first ever. Could be wrong.
Davidov, that guy could play anywhere. He put up 50 in a closeout game in the finals. 50 in a closeout game in the finals, Davidov. He has the dog mentality. Yes, he does.
For a guy who struggled at the free throw line his whole career, he was 17 and 19 in that game. That kind of speaks to his mental fortitude, I think.
Julius Randle played in New York City, and I don't mean to throw shade at Julius. Alec Burks played well in the playoffs for the Knicks. Giannis can too. Come on, dog. Come on, dog.
And also, you're not playing, like, you have the Garden faithful behind you. It's not like you're playing on the road.
Yeah, they're rooting for you. It ain't hard. What's he not going to do? Dunk the ball because he's scared of the crowd?
It's not like he's a jump shooting guy where, like, nerves can play a factor, but.
I think that would be the perfect pairing, Giannis and Brunson. I really do.
Because Giannis is not a closer. Like, that's his one negative, but he also does all the little things perfect at an A-plus level.
Do you imagine a defense with Hartenstein, OG, Giannis? You're winning a lot of games. You're winning a lot of games. We're going to close today's show with a mailbag. If you want to be featured on our mailbag, comment down below. Use the hashtag Knicks or Super Chat. Rashad, always going to respect Randall. Always going to respect Randall. Always going to respect Randall. Always. But at the end of the day, we're the New York Knicks. We're the New York Knicks. If you can make a move to get better, you do it. Hashtag Knicks or Super Chat to get on the show. Comment down below. Include # Knicks as it appears on your screen. No spaces. That way, producer Patrick Seatman can pop your question up on screen. Niall Dimitri in the chat. What's up, man? Let's save Niall's question for the mailbag.
Shout out to Niall.
Oh, Giannis. Oh, Giannis.
Also, I don't know if it was this. I think it was the last video you said, what's the Knicks' biggest need? It's finding that other star.
Yep.
It's like.
It's finding a player better than Jalen Brunson.
Yeah. Which is hard.
There is a salary cap in the NBA, Bill. It's a little bit more tricky, though. So even if you're over the salary cap, as long as you're not a tax-paying team. So there's a salary cap here, taxes up here. If you're below the tax, you still get about $12.9 million every year to sign a player. You can also, unlike in the NFL, Bill, if the player has been on your team for more than 2 seasons, in most situations, you can go over the salary cap to sign your own players. For instance, the Knicks are over the salary cap right now, Bill, but they can sign OG Anunoby and they can sign Isaiah Hartenstein. So it's a little bit more nuanced than the NFL salary cap. A little bit more nuanced, and it allows the teams to spend money even when they're not. Anderson Simpson says dynasty. That alone reasons to do it. That's a dynasty.
That is a 5-year window where you are hoping to get 3 or 4.
Brunson and Giannis on the same team.
Because that's Giannis is one negative. He's not a closer. You would have a closer and Brunson. It would work out great, man. It would
Double Brunson, Giannis playing 4-on-3.
Very Giannis, or LeBron, Kyrie vibes.
Yeah.
Would be, except with a way better supporting cast.
Yeah.
And way better point guard.
All righty. Make sure you are getting some questions in. I don't know how they're looking on your end, but I feel like we're a little low.
Use a couple more, fellas. If you guys could help us out.
Help us out. Drop a question. Include hashtag Knicks.
And if somebody could throw out, I think we all know, the typical trade targets, the Bridges, those types of guys.
Let's get a little deep. Let's get a little bit more deeper with it. We've talked all the surface level guys.
And I'll hunt those out. You will for sure get on the show. Let's see who can get creative here as a trade target for a Knicks.
I want to hear from OG. I want to hear from CPJ. I want to hear from John Thotty. I want to hear from John Pettit. I want to hear what you guys think the Knicks should do.
Also, what I love now, you can reply the super chats in the chat.
I love that.
That's pretty sweet.
I do like that as well.
When CPJ sent that in there, you had people replying to him in the chat. I loved it.
If y'all just want to ask me about a player, what they should do, it could be quite literally anything. Kenya, get a question in there, big dog. My dog Kenya knows hoop.
Kenya's been locked in today.
Kenya's locked in. He's always locked in. Kenya, tell me who you want, and I'm going to react to that, Kenya. Just include hashtag Knicks in there. Hashtag Knicks in there.
Appreciate it, guys. Appreciate it. Pet it.
Will, my man Will the Thrill from Brazil, get your question in, my homie. Get your question in. All right, let's do it. It's mailbag time here on Knicks Now by Chat Sports, one of my favorite shows to do of the week. I just get to chop it up with all the real ones that consistently support this channel, and I get to answer your questions. We do only take questions from subscribers, so if we didn't get to your question, it means it's your fault. Change it. Subscribe right now and help Knicks Now get to 50,000 subs. We're about 1,000 away. My guy, Joel Santos. What's up, homie? Sweet lid, bro. Says Klay Thompson or DeMar DeRozan after the Knicks make a major trade. So you're saying if they make a big trade, who would I rather have? Klay Thompson or DeMar DeRozan? I'd probably say Klay because he can shoot better. And I don't know if he can defend anymore, but he kind of fits more as a complementary piece. But if you make a big trade, you're not getting Klay Thompson or DeMar DeRozan. Because Klay Thompson is going for more than the mid-level exception, as is DeMar DeRozan. Now, if the question is, Joel Santos, who would I rather have, Klay Thompson or DeMar DeRozan with that's the big move? I'm going DeMar DeRozan. I am. I think another guy that can create his own shot, control the flow of the offense, and get you clutch time buckets in the fourth quarter, clutch player of the year. DeMar DeRozan finished second in clutch player of the year, first last year. Second in clutch player of the year was DeMar DeRozan this year. If the Knicks do not make any big moves and they can go get DeMar DeRozan, I would love that. I was begging for them to trade for DeMar DeRozan at the trade deadline. You need another guy that can control the offense and create for themselves and others while Brunson sits down. DeRozan is one of the most underrated playmakers in the league. Consistently averages 4+ assists. And I think it's up to like 6 at this point with the Chicago Bulls. He almost runs point guard at times for them. Another guy that can score in the half court when Brunson's off the bench, I would go with DeRozan over Clay. I just think both those guys are probably a little unrealistic. It'd have to be a sign and trade for both them because I think they're going to command more than the potential mid-level exception the Knicks might have. Julian, what's up, man? Would you do the Bronny sign to get LBJ in a vet minimum and then sign CP3 off the bench? Yeah. Yeah. If I can add Chris Paul and LeBron James to this team for 2 veteran minimum contracts, absolutely. Any person in the world that's a Knicks fan that says they don't want LeBron James for the veteran minimum, they're lying. They are lying, and they're letting their emotions get in the way. Ty Dubs, what's up, man? Appreciate the $5 super chat, homie. He says, I say let's go with Bridges. Def under no circumstances go for LBJ. You wouldn't? Taj Gibson played on the vet minimum for us. You wouldn't give him Taj Gibson money? Come on, dog. I love you, though. I love you. You're just wrong on this one. My mother said that. I'd tell her she was wrong. Yeah, Mikal Bridges remains a top trade target for me this offseason. He will. I think he brings a lot where the Knicks need. Another versatile defending wing that knocks it down at a high rate in spot-ups, and he attacks closeouts better than almost anybody in this league. And he's a Nova boy. Always in on that. Oh, gee, what's up, bro? Because I'm down with the Giannis trade. I also like the cheap options like Williams, Harris, or Bay. Yeah, I think that if the Knicks find a way to make it to where they can get that mid-level exception, then I think a wing is probably what I was looking at, and that's based kind of off the market. I went and I ranked every single free agent that's out there, and I was looking for guys in that mid-level area. And I think someone off the bench, a wing spot that could supplement OG, makes a lot of sense. This was the trade idea we brought up on a show earlier this week. OG was referencing this one. Let me know. Would you make this trade for Giannis? Randall, Robinson, Deuce, 4 unprotected, 3 protected, 7 total first-round picks. Would you do the deal? A for accept, D for decline. Rel88, what's up, man? Malcolm Brogdon and Herb Jones. As trade targets? Because I'm pretty sure, let me just double check here. Malcolm Brogdon, if I remember right, he has 2 years left on his deal dating back to when we were trying to trade for him at the trade deadline. Yeah, he signed a 2-year deal for $45 million, and he is on the books for $22.5 this upcoming year, so it would have to be a trade for him. I wouldn't mind trading for Brogdon. I would have liked for the Knicks to trade for him at the trade deadline. He fits what I think that they need. Another creator off the bench for themselves and others. When it comes to Herb Jones, New Orleans ain't letting him go. He's a really good player, and he's really young. And he signed a 4-year contract with the Pelicans worth $53 million last offseason. What a steal of a deal. They aren't trading him. I wish they would because I would love him on this team. But probably not trading him. Carter. Trade for Jimmy Butler, Trae Young. We haven't talked about Jimmy Butler. We have not talked about Jimmy Butler. I wouldn't mind adding Jimmy Butler. But he said he doesn't want to play for Tibbs anymore. He said he wants to beat Tibbs. And I think it would be pretty old school Knicks to give Jimmy Butler a max deal. And what I mean by that is he is past his prime. He is. The injuries are stacking up. Is he still good? Yeah. Is he still a star? Absolutely. Can he still get it done in the playoffs? Yeah. But we're almost 2 years removed now from him doing that. And you pay players for what they can do, not what they have done. What they have done and paying those players for that is what the Knicks used to do. I don't know if I would give Jimmy Butler a max, and that's what he said he wants. I have no interest in Trae Young. We have our point guard, and he's better than him. More questions coming up around the corner. But first, I got to tell you guys about our awesome sponsor, Prize Picks. PrizePicks.com/CLNS. Use that promo code CLNS. And Prize Picks, the #1 daily fantasy sports app, will match your first deposit up to $100. It's daily fantasy sports made easy. All you do, create a lineup of 2 to 6 players. You pick more, you pick less. NBA, NFL, college football, college basketball, all types of sports that you can play on Prize Picks. And with the NBA Finals about a week away, now's the time to get hooked up. And we've got a special offer that if you go to prizepicks.com/CLNS right now, or when the video finishes, and use the promo code CLNS, Prize Picks will match your first deposit up to $100. If you're looking to turn your basketball, football, sports IQ into some money to help you out, do it with Prize Picks. If you're going to play daily fantasy sports, do it with our proud sponsor, Prize Picks. We love having them as a sponsor. We want to keep them around. I love playing Prize Picks. I play it every single day. Check them out. You guys will enjoy it. I promise. It's daily fantasy sports made easy. Pick 2+ players. Turn $10 into $100. $20 into $60. Choose more. Choose less. Prize Picks. All that information will be clickable down in the comments and description of today's video. Strong Island Bomber, what's up, bro? Says, what is going to happen with Sims? Jericho Sims has a team option for the 24-25 season. I expect for the Knicks to pick that team option up. It's for like $2.5 million or something around that. I would pick that up. Toppin, Milton, and Jeffries are all free agents. And I would expect the Knicks to try to bring all of them back, maybe not Milton, Toppin, and Jeffries, once again on a G League deal or on one of those two-way deals as well. He says they got to be replaced with some better bench players. Yeah, the Knicks, those guys weren't your bench players. Those were your G League players. Your bench players got hurt, so they were then thrusted into your bench players. You can't be good from 1 to 15. Just not possible in the NBA. But I understand what you're saying. Those were your G Leaguers. I think the Knicks bench is fine. I think they could use another scorer, another wing, but I'm not too worried about replacing Toppin and Milton and Jeffries right now. Liam Tortorella. I think I got it right that last time. Liam Tortorella. How about Jaren Jackson Jr. if he ever becomes available? Yes. I love Jaren Jackson Jr. I actually think he'd be the perfect power forward for the New York Knicks. He defends at a high level. He can stretch the floor on offense. Elite shot blocker. Yeah, Liam, I would love to trade for Jaren Jackson. But if you're the Grizzlies, why are you doing that? He's a part of your team with Bane and Ja Morant for the foreseeable future. Raymond, what's up, man? Says, what you think about Booker, Paul George? Devin Booker, I would pay the price. Paul George, if you can get Paul George without trading Randall, you do it. I'm not so sure I would trade Randall for Paul George at this point. But if you could somehow finesse Robinson, Bogey, and Deuce and picks for Paul George, yeah, you do that. And then your starting lineup is Brunson, George, OG, Randall, and Hartenstein, with your bench being Dante DiVincenzo and Josh Hart. That's a really, really good team. I'd love to get both those guys. I would pay pretty much whatever it takes to get Devin Booker. And for Paul George, I would only do it if I could keep Julius Randle. That's how I feel on that. John Thotty. What's up, John Thotty? I don't want Zion at all, but surprised there hasn't been much talk there given all the history of the Knicks rumors with him. Thoughts? Yeah, I'm surprised we haven't heard a little bit more of that this offseason. Good picking up on that. I'm with you, though, man. I'm tired of doing injury update videos. I'm tired of talking about injured players. But, man, he was good in that playing game before he got hurt. I can't trade for Zion. I can't. Too injury prone. I can't do it. Thomas, Lauri Markkanen. I think Lauri is a really, really good player. I struggle with saying I would trade Randall for Markkanen. And I've come a long way from that. I feel like Knicks fans at times have overrated Randall because we haven't seen him so long. But, man, that team was so good in January. Like, they were so good. 11-1. Number 1 defense, number 1 offense, number 1 rebounding team. 8+ beating teams by 18 points a night. The only way I would go in for Markkanen is if Randall was off the team, and I think I would keep Randall over Markkanen. I think I would. It's close. But like, I think if you're trading Randall for Markkanen, they're going to want you to add a lot of first-round picks to that. And I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. If you trade Randall in a package for a guy like, let's say you trade Randall and Randall, Robinson, and McBride for Bridges, right? For Bridges. And then you can go get Laurie, sure. But I don't think that you got a spot for Laurie if Randall's on the team. Because then is Laurie playing the 3 and then OG's playing the 2? So you're pretty much saying you got to trade Randall for Laurie. I don't think I'd do it. Let me know. Would y'all trade Julius Randle for Lauri Markkanen? Let me know in the chat. Make sure you're following me over on social media. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. Hit me up over there. And let's go Knicks!
Good questions, fellas. Appreciate you.
Those were good.
Oh,
y'all stepped up to the plate.
No,
we appreciate y'all.
Oh, thank you guys.
Thank you guys. Those were great questions. Those were great questions. Thank you so much. LeBron ruins every team he leaves. LeBron also wins a championship for every team he plays on.
Normally,
you know what I would do?
Normally when great players leave teams, they normally become worse.
Yep. That's kind of crazy. Crazy to think about. I would take my team being destroyed if it meant winning a finals as well.
Yeah, 100%.
If I was guaranteed a Knicks finals, I would take 5 years of basement level NBA play from them for 5 years.
Yes.
If it guaranteed a ring. But that's just how I fan. You can fan how y'all want. I ain't ever going to tell none of y'all how to fan because I don't like when people tell me how to fan. You're a fan. You are quite literally running off emotion. Liam, thank you. I don't usually pronounce people's name right, so thank you. Tuto Azuri!
Go.
Massive salutes and respects to Big Boss Marshy and Lil Seeps and all the diehard Giants, Knicks, and Rangers fans across the pond. Greeting from Princeton, Jersey?
Jersey?
Are you in Jersey?
It's Game 5 tonight for the Rangers.
Game 5 tonight for the Rangers.
Dos.
What's the date for the stream again, Tuto?
I think it's June 5th. Right?
June 5th, Tuto on Peacock.
Was it?
June 5th on Peacock, Tuto. Oh.
Appreciate you, man.
Bill says, great answers, Marsh. What you think of Cole Anthony? Love Cole Anthony. That dude competes.
Yeah, he plays hard.
He competes. He plays hard. He could score. He could dish. A little undersized. So he's limited as a defender, but he competes on that side of the ball. I didn't see him as a free agent, though. I actually think he just inked a deal. Yeah, he signed a 3-year deal for $39 million. He's not a free agent until potentially 2026, 2027. I love Cole Anthony. If they're talking about trading him, I would call. John Thought, he says, likelihood of running it back versus a big trade. I think it's more likely the Knicks run it back versus a big trade this summer. To buy a TV's got to be on sale. I can't make a team trade me a star. They got to be for sale. Do I think Burks or Precious comes back? I would say no. I think Burks is more likely than Precious. But if I had to put my money on it, I would say both are probably not back with the Knicks. I'd take them, though. I'd take them back. All righty. We're going to sign off on today's show. I got a 3-day weekend coming up. Going back to Houston to see my niece and nephew get baptized. So got to start packing tonight. Shout out to all the people that tuned in, man.
No, I felt it was a great stream. You guys brought it.
You guys brought it.
Just too much slander for the second greatest player of all time. That's all I'm going to say. But I get it. Listen, I'm a Bulls fan. I hate LeBron more than anybody as well. But he's also a hell of a basketball player.
Yeah, to act like you wouldn't add LeBron James for a veteran minimum, I think is just a wee bit crazy.
Just a wee.
Just a wee bit crazy to say you don't want LeBron James for free. Like, for free. I think it's a wee bit crazy. Tuto says, Marshy, July 20th, I got here home on Tuesday, and I'll be here for a week before traveling to Dublin, Ireland. Joint training and practice with Gingerhead Loses?
The Dublin Ireland.
Oh, now I get it. Funny. Trading up for Williams would include what?
Cody Williams. That's who he was talking about in the chat.
I think it'd take pick 24, pick 25, and probably pick 38.
Yeah, definitely.
And does that even get you in the top 10?
Yeah,
He's a top 10, top 12 guy.
Yeah, he's right around there. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so.
I do not want Josh Giddey either. I do not want Josh Giddey.
Knicks
either.
fans, realize who you are now. I think, realize the team you root for now is not the Knicks you were rooting for 4 years ago. You are the big dogs. Let's call it like it is.
You are one of 3 teams to get to the second round of the playoffs 2 years in a row. It's you, it's the Nuggets, and the Celtics. There are 3 teams in the NBA that have been in the second round of the playoffs the last 2 years. The Knicks, the Celtics, and the Nuggets.
You're not a margin team anymore.
Exactly. You are a championship contender. You need to make championship contender moves. You know what the
championship mindset from the fans.
You know what the Celtics did after losing in the conference finals? They traded their blood and sweat of the team.
Yeah.
And Marcus Smart.
They were 1 game from the finals, and they made moves.
1 game from the finals.
And also, why did the Nuggets probably lose this year?
They didn't make any moves. They
tried to run it back. Running back's never the right answer, unless it's you got the Knicks. I think are a different example because you have guys coming back.
And they didn't even really run it back. They lost
Bruce Brown.
They actually got worse.
Yeah.
They expected guys like Christian Brown and other guys to take more of a step. They didn't.
That championship window also, it's always a whole lot smaller than you think, guys.
It is. You didn't. It's the last thing I will say. Let's go back to the 2021 NBA draft. Knicks were on the clock at pick number 11. Do you remember what they did? They traded out of the draft. They got 3 future protected first-round picks. Let's stop overreacting to the number of first-round picks in the trade.
Yeah.
Because 99% of Knicks fans were upset that the Knicks traded 1 first-round pick for 3 protected first-round picks. Meaning, your 3 first-round picks that you have that are protected really only equal 1 first-round pick.
Yeah.
You can't have it both ways. You can't say, oh, we can't give up that many picks, and then on this side say, well, why did we trade 1 good pick for 3 bad picks? That's the end of my TED Talk. We'll see you later.
Peace.